Hey guys, Scott Steen with the Winners and Winers coming to you all the way from the bowels of the Winners and Winers Sports and Entertainment Complex to talk about our last bowl game of this opening day of bowl games here on Saturday. This is the New Orleans Bowl. It is 9:30 Eastern Time, coming to you from the great city of New Orleans there in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. It features the Middle Tennessee State University Blue Raiders against the Appalachian State Mountaineers. Mountaineers currently a 7-point favorite, and 50 is the total in this game. Blue Raiders come to us via finishing first in Conference USA Eastern Division. They lost the conference championship game to UAB a week after beating him soundly. They actually beat them 27-7, and then lost by I think they lost by 1 the next week. We were on Middle Tennessee State there. We thought they could do it again. They did not. So anyway, that's how they got here. The Mountaineers of Appalachian State, they finished first in the Sun Belt Conference. They beat University of Louisiana Lafayette, or as they call it now, just Louisiana, in their conference championship game, and that's why they end up here in the New Orleans Bowl. Tale of the tape is as follows: Middle Tennessee State 8-5 on the season, 8-5 against the spread, and 6-7 overs versus unders. Appalachian State is 10-2, 6-4 as far as against the spread, and 6-6 overs versus unders. So, and I wanted to talk about that a little bit. We've got a situation. A lot of times, with these smaller schools, you'll hear almost all college schools actually. Maybe they're 10-2 on the season, but they're only 1-11 against the spread or whatever, or overs versus unders. A lot of times that happens. Some of these games when they play really small schools, they don't have lines printed. So if you've got Alabama playing the Little Sisters of the Poor, they're probably not going to have a line up there. So that's why a lot of times those numbers aren't the same. So anyway, just to cover that. You know what? All the Middle Tennessee State University losses have come versus bowl teams. They've lost 3 games against SEC teams, and they lost to FIU, and then, as we previously mentioned, the UAB rematch. However, they don't play well in the games that they're dogs. They're a 1-3 as a dog in those games. Their best wins this year probably against Marshall, and yeah, that's probably about it. Marshall really is their big win. On the other side of the ball, Appalachian State has had a very, very good season. In fact, so good, as often happens, is these mid to low tier schools, they got their coach poached. It's a poach coach. Coach Scott Satterfield is going to be the new coach. In fact, he is the new coach of the Louisville Cardinals, which leaves interim coach Mark Ivey in place to run the show for the bowl game. Mark is a veteran guy there of the staff, and he's hoping with maybe to plant his flag with a good performance in the New Orleans Bowl for App State. So we'll see what happens. You know, guys, Appalachian State has lost 2 games this year, and the way to beat them is to have a big running game. Penn State did it, and Georgia Southern did it. Both of them ran the ball effectively, often, and were able to keep the App State offense off the field and wear that defense down. Appalachian State, where they really make their bones, is on their defense. Unfortunately, Middle Tennessee State ran for 200 yards only twice this season, and that was against ODU and Western Kentucky. Those 2 teams are combined 7-17. So we're definitely stepping up in weight class, taking on the Appalachian State defense, as opposed to the Monarchs and the Hilltoppers. So what that is going to leave most likely is for Middle Tennessee to depend on their passing attack. Now, they do have a real solid little quarterback. He's 5'11". I do call him little. He's 5'11". His name's Brett Stockstill. He's a 5th-year senior, and he's just moved into the top 40 in yardage of all time in NCAA play. So he's a good, solid quarterback. He's had a great season this year, 28 touchdowns against just 8 picks. Unfortunately, he's playing right into the strength of Appalachian State. Their pass defense ranks 2nd in defensive efficiency this year. They've allowed just 7 TDs against 15 picks. No opponent has thrown for more than 230 yards and 5 teams completed less than 50% of their passes. You know what? A lot of in these games, I look, especially with a spread like that, I look for reasons to take the Blue Raiders. I simply just don't think they're in the class of App State. For me, Appalachian State is probably one of the best group of 5 schools to go along with Fresno State, Boise State, and of course UCF. So I'm going to take App State here. When you guys see this video, take a look at the line. It's probably still 7. It seems pretty static, but keep an eye on it as it starts to get closer to game time. See if we can cheat that line down to 6.5. I really honestly have no idea. The money seems kind of evenly split right now. I don't have a feel for if there's going to be a sharp move, if that line is going to get steamed in one direction or another. All I can say is anytime it's on a key number like that, if it's on a 3, if it's on a 7, keep an eye on it, see what happens. And obviously if it starts to go from 110 to 115, 118, you better lock up your 7 because it's about to go higher than that. If it goes the other way, hang tight, be patient, maybe get it down to 6.5. All right. So guys, that's my bet for this play. That's my play for this game. Take Appalachian State, take the Mountaineers. Lay the 7, 6.5 if you can find it, and then you can join me as we watch the New Orleans Bowl and grab our tickets and head back to the window. You guys take care. Hope you had a great day. We'll see you again tomorrow for NFL. Take care, everybody.